Alrighty guys, welcome back to another LEGO set review from BrickByBrick, and today we have set number 70669. This is Cole's Earth Driller, containing 587 pieces and retailing for $49.99 in the United States. This set was released as part of the Ninjago Legacy Wave in January 2019, and it's sort of a redesign of the Cole's Earth Driller from the 2013 Final Battle Wave, which was at number 70502 for anyone interested. And that was just a $20 set, and it was just the Earth Driller by itself. But this one added in a really cool Stone Warrior from the Final Battle season, which we never got in a set before. We never got a larger than minifigure size one, which, yes, there was a larger than minifigure size one in the show. And, you know, I was really excited to see that when images of this were first revealed. And you know, it uses the same style of build as Ant-Man from the Civil War airport battle, but the top of the box shows all of the minifigures, and the side shows nothing special, really. And this side just has a little bit of art of Cole from the Legacy Wave, and if we flip the box around, it just shows all the action features, really. Nothing super special, but this was one of the sets that I was most looking forward to from the Legacy Wave, and now I've got it, so let's take a look and see if it lives up to my expectations. And here is an image from the show of the actual model, and this is one of the few cases where I think that the new version of the set, this one, is more accurate than the original. And I mean, I guess most of them kind of are, except for the figures. Obviously, the figures are not as accurate as the originals. But this is the part of the set that I was most excited for, so let's start by taking a look at that. This is the Giant Stone Warrior, and this is a really cool little build. It's sort of the same style as the Ant-Man build, but they've obviously taken some liberties to make it a Stone Warrior. The legs are relatively similar to that, and they have the same articulation as a minifigure. Having these this bright blue in the center is a little bit weird. You could easily replace that if you'd like to. It's not that difficult to do, but you can move the legs all the way up, and you can move them back about that far, which is about the same articulation as a minifigure has. Again, there's a little bit of lime green that shows through there, which is a little bit unfortunate. You know, it's the technical holes down the sides, which, I mean, those are at the end of the world. I don't hate those too much. And then from the back, he doesn't look great. He doesn't look awful, but you know, at least there's no out-of-place colors, but it is just anti-studs, and, you know, it is what it is. And you do have a couple stickers throughout. All of the detail you see on the legs are stickers. Those are nice looking. The torso, you got that sticker up there. The face, though, is a print, and we'll remove a couple pieces to show you that a little bit better in a second. But the arms are on ball joints, so they can move up and down that way, or you can twist them and then move them in and out just a little bit. This piece up here really restricts the back and forth motion. So, you know, it works, though. And the hands, you know, we can move them in and out, and around side to side, but you can't move the hands up and down. They're not on ball joints, which is accurate to a minifigure's articulation, I guess. So there is that. But, you know, you got two swords in the top hands. You could swap them out with the bottom hand if you wanted to. And, you know, I mean, the bottom hands basically have the same articulation. They can move in and out a little bit more because they don't have this piece sticking out. But other than that, they're mostly the same. And, you know, you could assemble a couple more of these swords if you'd like to equip the bottom hands with some swords. And the head can rotate all the way around 360 degrees, and I like the build for this helmet. I think that that's a really cool design with these arch bricks, and then you got these little dragon wings there, and then the horns can be rotated independently of one another, and underneath that, if we remove just a couple pieces, you can see a little bit more of the dome piece printing. And in order to get at that completely, you'd have to remove a couple of elements and kind of take them apart. But there we can see the full printing. Almost looks like Darth Maul, but that's how the Stone Warrior faces looked, so it is really cool to get a giant upscaled version of that. And then we have the updated version of the Earth Driller, and I like this a lot more than the original one. I was never really happy with the way that the original one had looked. It was sort of similar in certain aspects to this one. Like they both use the same drill piece at the front. This one adds on a little bit of extra drill length with this Unikitty horn piece, but for the most part, this area is pretty similar. Uses the same size front wheels and the same size back wheels, but it adds on a little bit of depth by including this piece here on either side. And this time, these pieces are in gunmetal gray. On the original one, they were in black. I mean, I don't think either of those have any significant impact. But you know, it's pretty good looking build. The front here, you got a little bit of ugly colors showing through on this one, which, you know, is not great, but it's not the end of the world. And as you can sort of see here, this drill will have a spinning feature. I like the rockiness around the sides of the cockpit here. That looks way better than on the old one, because on the old one you had like one sticker and one of these rock pieces on either side, and that was all of the effort they put into that. Otherwise it was just a flat wall, and I think this is way better textured. It's got some stud shooters as well, which the old one lacked, and you know, I mean, in the show it didn't really shoot anything, but these don't hurt the playability at all, for sure. And we got a little bit of an engine up here on the front. The one thing that I did like about the old model was the little engine area, and this is fine, but you know, not particularly better than the old one. The cockpit here, though, is a significant improvement. We've got this piece they've used for some Jedi Starfighters with some new printing on there. That's nice. And inside, you can fit 2 figures, which is a big improvement. The old one could only fit 1 in the show. The vehicle can fit 6. So this still isn't perfect, but obviously it is a scaled down version. We have some control panels in there, some stickers. These 2 are the same, and then these 2 are different designs, and that is a printed 1x2. And you know, it's a good look in there. And definitely getting multiple figures is a plus. There is no clip to store weaponry though, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I've always liked when they do that. And then in the back here we've got this little engine which actually spins when the drill spins, which we'll show you how the drill spins in a second, but yeah, that's a cool looking feature there. And then from the back we've got a little tiny bit of ugly color, and then you have clips here to store 2 weapons, but Kai has 2 swords, so you know, you can fit the scythe of actually you really can't fit the scythe of Quakes here. Maybe if we turn it upside down. Yeah, there we go. So you can fit the scythe of Quakes there if you'd like, and you can fit a katana here, but Kai has a second sword, so you could either put both swords there and, you know, deal with putting the scythe of Quakes somewhere else, or I mean, I guess you could just lay this in there with Kai, but again, it's not the best solution ever, and I do wish there was a little bit more clip space. But, you know, that works decently. You got the big engine back here, which allows you to turn the drill. Again, we'll show you that a little bit closer in just a second. And then we have these 2 blades here. This is a new design piece that they introduced in the Sons of Garmadon theme, and I think this is the first time we've gotten it in gold, so that's cool to see. But now, how does the drill feature work? Well, if you drive the vehicle back and forth, then the drill spins. And this center section spins separately from the back gray section, and they spin in opposite directions, which is cool. And I believe this spins in the same direction as the gold drill. But if you don't want it to actually spin or if you don't want to have to move in order to spin, you can just turn the back engine and it'll spin the front drill. And that's a clever feature. They've got it so that they have a new this piece here. It has just a Technic hole in the center, not an axle hole. So when you spin this, it doesn't, like when you spin this back axle, that piece doesn't have to spin, which is nice. It's just a cool little cool feature. And then when you turn this, it will end up spinning that, which will usually end up spinning the drill when there is enough friction in the system. I don't know, it just works nicely. Gets it to do its thing, but you know, when you want it to work separately, it'll work separately for you. And I don't know, that's just a nice feature, and I appreciate the introduction. It has a little bit of a cool assembly process to the build, but overall, this is a pretty good looking model, definitely a significant upgrade from the previous one. I don't have the previous one still built because I never really liked it, so I can't bring it out to compare it in front of you, but you know, I think the old build is about this long, and the back section is really like awfully built. Like there's really nothing back there. It has the wheels sticking behind the whole center area, which was just a little weird. There are both plastic back wheels though, so the back wheels don't really have any traction at all, but the front wheels do, and that kind of makes up for it. Overall, I think this is a pretty well built thing. Definitely feels more valuable than the original one. And first up for figures, we'll look at Cole and Kai, and both of these figures are nice. Cole is actually probably the least common of the Legacy Suit Ninja, being as, yes, he appears in a spinner set like all the others, but this is the second least expensive set to get him. Kai is also the most common of all of them, so, you know, they kind of balance each other out. Cole gets the new build for the Side of Quakes, which uses the dragon hilt piece, which is cool. Always nice to get more of those, and Kai's weapons are boring as the figure. They're just silver katanas. The torso prints on both of these are pretty decent. I like Cole's better. And then they have the new dual molded Legacy masks with the dark brown and black for Cole and the dark red and red for Kai. And they both have their Ninjago movie faces and some decent back printing on their torsos. And the more interesting figures here are the Legacy Stone Warriors, and both of these figures are exclusive to this set because of their leg prints, and one of the face prints here is exclusive as well. The only other Legacy set to include Stone Warriors is the Golden Dragon one, where the only Stone Warrior is a scout with short legs, so he has no printing on his legs, and that's why these legs are exclusive. The Archer here has this nice little crossbow piece from The Force Awakens, and it shoots out trans purple studs. And the Swordsman just has red katanas this time, which is kind of cool. Something a little bit different than the original Stone Warriors. And the torso prints on both of these are the same. They both look pretty good. You don't have to remove anything in order to be able to see their full printing. And they have the same torsos, so they have the same back printing. And there's no back printing on the heads, but this yellow face, that one is exclusive to the set. The green one is used in the other Golden Dragon set, and they have no back printing either. The helmet for this guy is a little bit different than the 2013 ones because it uses the Samurai X mask here, because I guess they must have retired the other one that had some printing on there and had the fancy things that stick out to the sides that are more like the wings seen on the buildable figure in the set. And then instead of using these traditional Sensei Wu rice hat, they have the new Ninjago movie version, which, you know, that's okay, is what it is. It is uncommon in red, only appearing in this set and the other Golden Dragon Legacy set, but I prefer the original red Sensei Wu hats. So looking at the piece count, the price of this set makes it look like an exceptionally good value. I don't know if it lives up to that exceptionally good value standard that the price would suggest. I think it's a good set, and I really like the new design of the Earth Driller and the Stone Warrior, but you gotta consider that the original Earth Driller was only $20, and I don't know, this is sort of the same scale, since there isn't a bigger drill or anything. Yes, this one is a lot more detailed, and it has a lot more bulk to it, so I don't know, I would say that the Earth Driller alone in this set is worth $30, definitely. You could probably get away with $35 and then say that this Stone Warrior buildable figure is worth $15 and then call it decent. But I think, pushing either of those numbers any higher is a little bit hard to justify. So, I don't know. I think that, say Cole and the Stone Warriors, and the Earth Driller, that makes a set. I could see that set sold for $30, and then a nice little $15 set with, I guess you could put, I don't know, this middle figure would lie somewhere in the middle. But I guess, Kai and this buildable Stone Warrior being sold in a set for $15, I wouldn't find that too unreasonable, but I would think that maybe it needs another figure. So, I don't know, I guess maybe that's one of the things that this could be seen as lacking. I mean, throw in another Stone Warrior, and maybe I would feel a little bit better about it. I mean, I don't know. It's not a bad set, and I'm definitely really happy with my purchase here still. It just is a little bit hard to sum up the volume of stuff in the set, knowing that it was possible to make a half-decent the Cole's Earth Driller for less than half the price of this set. And I feel like this is where more than half of the value fits in now, so I don't know. Maybe, I think $40 would have been a better price for this set, which, it has been 20% off at Walmart and Amazon several times throughout its life, so probably will be easily possible for you to get it for $40, but I don't know. Usually Ninjago sets aren't super overpriced, and I don't think this is overpriced at $50. I just think that, you could get better value from some of the other sets from the wave. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye, everyone.